Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Shannon Soaps. This one here is Aussie Ice. It's kind of a color is a kind of a beige color, not necessarily brown. That's what the sticker looks like there on the side there. It is a mint, eucalyptus, and menthol scent soap, and per my nose, the first scent that I pick up right off the bat is the mint. And then, of course, the rest follows. But mint, to me, seems like to be the, I guess you might say, the forefront on the scent on this one here. But definitely an eye-opener for a Sunday morning shave. And decided to go ahead and follow up with Wet the Face Salty Air, Salty Sea Air Aftershave. Thought the two would make a nice combination there. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and my pre-shave soap, it is getting smaller. That's what I'll be using here in just a moment. But I've got the lather whipped up here with a Ever Ready brush from, let's see if I get around here. Here it is, a Heritage Collection. It is, this Badger Knot, as you can tell, that's pretty good size, and it's a little on the wet side. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty wet right there. So in other words, it should be really easy to rinse off of this Parker semi-slant razor here that has a Astra green or Superior Platinum blade in it, and that blade is the one with no ink on it. So in other words, it's laser printed. I'll have a link down below to Razor Blade Club's website, where you can find where if you wanted the Astra greens with the ink, you can order 100 pack of that or less, and also ones without the ink. So they have both of them, so it just depends on what your preference is, if you have one. Over time, when they first made that transition from no ink to ink, from ink to no ink, there's a few folks that thought that there was a difference in the blade, and they would prefer the ones with ink, the older stock, in other words. And I noticed that that particular website, Razor Blade Club, actually has both of them. And if you look down through their list of DE blades, they have a few that are like that, where some of the companies have transitioned from using ink just to laser print the name of the company, the blade on the name of the company on the blade. There we go. So some may think that if there is a difference, or if they just prefer to have the name of the company in ink. I can tell you that that laser printed name isn't always the easiest to see, at least with my eyes. My eyes are a little older. But yeah, it's a little tough to see that laser printed if you're not looking for it. I know the very first time I experienced it, I didn't think that there was anything on the blade, and look how big that is. That is huge. But after looking at it in the right kind of light, in other words, it hit it just right, I was able to see that there is a name on the blade. It's laser printed on there. It's just really hard to see sometimes. Depends on what kind of light you have in your bathroom. You know, bathrooms typically aren't set up to film videos in. It's for, the lighting usually is for other things. But it seems like there went a good chunk of lather there. Seems like in the past I've always heard usually the ladies complain about the lighting in the bathrooms, and I think over the years have gotten better, but not necessarily for doing videos. I can say though that this setup right here is pretty nice. The blade works really well with this razor, in my opinion, at least for my experience. And the this razor, as goes for a semi-slant, I think I would consider this probably, outside of the variant, probably the best DE shaver that Parker has. It's very smooth, it's efficient, it's not priced to break the bank. Depending on whether you get one with the rose gold on the handle. I think the rose gold one is a little bit more, but it's $32 somewhere in there in that price range. Not real expensive. And with this particular blade, it's a good matchup for me. Really nice and smooth. But you can still feel the blade cutting through the whiskers. I enjoy that. For me, this Parker razor is a very enjoyable one to use. It is definitely one of those that you could, once you shave with it a time or two, that you could, I guess you might say, go on automatic pilot. It's very, very easy to use, get used to. Learning curve is, in other words, is pretty small. And this knot is huge. I mean, once you work the lather up in it, this thing is a monster. It's really kind of too big for my face. But it is fun to use when you're whipping up the lather in the bowl. Talking about whipping up lather, really depends on what you're after, what your needs are when it comes to whipping up lather. This is a fairly wet lather. This would be something very close to what I would use with a straight razor or a shavette. Very slick, easy to rinse off. It's for me, this kind of lather just works really well for me. I don't require a thick lather, if you will. I'm more on the slickness side of things, and this works really well. Like I said, it rinses off pretty easy. But you do have to take a moment or two to rinse it off. So if you're in a hurry, a thicker lather, but not necessarily this way, but on your face, where it sticks to the razor easier, where you don't have to rinse off near as often. Might be something that you could look into doing. As odd as it may sound, really, if I'm in a hurry and I'm going to be using a shavette, it would be what I would use. In other words, shavette's a 2-pass shave. I can get those knocked out pretty quick. It's what you're used to using. And as soon as I get through this series of slant razors, you'll be seeing more of the shavettes and straight razors and single edges. I got a few that I've been anxious to use and just working through this series right here. Like I say, mint's the scent I pick up first. I know sometimes when you hear eucalyptus and menthol, sometimes it seems like menthol and eucalyptus kind of take over the scent. In this particular case, and per my nose, the mint is what's the strongest scent. The whole, I guess you might say, effect on the face is there's slight cooling. Yeah, I don't feel like it's anything over the top, but it is noticeable. I guess you might say it's the right balance. This razor it is such an easy one to use. Parker makes some pretty good razors in my opinion. I think my favorite when it comes to twist opens from Parker is, can't remember what I think it's a 87R. I think that's it. Can't remember the model number right offhand. It's the one that looks like a British rocket. That razor there is fun to use. The handle is a bit shorter than what you see here. Probably cut that much off of it. It's a bit shorter and it fits in my hand a little easier. But it is a thicker handle, easy to hang on to. Just a pleasant shave for a Sunday. In doing my normal routine, what do I have left on the face in the way of whiskers? Not a whole lot. From time to time, you might hear me if I vary my routine up just a bit. I could probably get by with the 2-pass shave. I got just a little bit right there, which is kind of a spot. I have a spiral that grows right there. So sometimes you have to get a little creative in order to get all that. Just a small spot right there. That's the only thing I've got left on my face. For me, it's a really nice shaver. It's hard to, I guess you might say, pick at least in my opinion. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements alum block complete with the rubber band this morning. I don't expect any stinging this morning. Not noticing anything, but I think I did miss a little bit of soap right there though. It is funny, sometimes after the after the video, I'm cleaning up and then I look in the mirror and like, oh, there's some shaving cream back there. It is funny how that happens. Witch Hazel, Humphreys. This one here is the unscented one. And if you heard me mention before, my wife doesn't particularly care for the unscented because it has a scent that's naturally occurring and it's offensive to her nose. So I had to dig into my stock of witch hazel and find a rose one for her. She was not happy with the one she had, which was Thayer's, believe it or not. She didn't like Thayer's. She likes Humphreys. So eventually, at some point in time, later in the future, I'll probably be using, probably closer to summertime, I have a Thayer's cucumber now. One that she didn't like. Yes, there is a scent with that witch hazel. But like I say, it's not that it was added. It's just a naturally occurring one. With the face, salty sea air. Boy, this is it goes well in my opinion with this particular scent of mint and eucalyptus and menthol. In other words, the coolness of the what might be sea air. This one here, I think, plays real well with it. When I was in the Army, I was stationed in Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah, Georgia. And we'd go to Tybee Island. And right around Thanksgiving would be a good time to go out there because usually the beaches aren't too terribly crowded. And just the wind coming off the ocean, coming in and hitting your face, it was a lot like this. It is really nice. Fantastic time of the year to be there. Like I say, there was hardly anybody out at the beach, just walking along the beach and just enjoying the day. Kind of like this shave. I had a great time this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.